Just when you thought somebody couldn't stoop to their lowest point, academics does it. Oh man, somebody brings on their alleged bot maker and get this person to say that they're working for Kendrick Lamar and they got receipts and saying Kendrick people paid me for 30 million views or whatever, and I was only paid 2,500. It's retarded. Okay, $2,500 will get you that many views? That's crazy. Legit views? Where they do that at? What planet is that on? This is sad. Hit the like button, good people. I'm sad I even got to address stuff like this because it's just pitiful that you get people to come out here and just blatantly lie to the people. First of all, to the guy who's talking, it's so moronic that if you were doing something like this and said, oh my God, they're threatening my life. This is why I came to you. You're the big guy. You're the number one guy in hip hop, and you're the number one guy. I'm like, who looks at academics as the number one guy in this hip hop? Who? What? Academics? Like, who even says something like that? It doesn't make sense. Nothing that man said made any sense. And I'm here to break it down. Now, because I don't listen to academics, I didn't know this had, well, I knew it went down because people was telling me about it. But I just know better than to listen to academics. So I just, ignored it. Then people just keep sending me the link, sending me the link. So I said, all right, fine. I'll check it out. So as I'm handling business, this pops up, and then I start seeing all of the stuff that's going on. Thanks, HD. But I had to talk about it. I'm also going to make a Patreon version too. I could just go off about what this really is about. Now, let's just keep it a thou wow here. Okay? Let's keep it a thou wow. The guy started coming out. First thing he starts saying is he's doing this because he's getting threatened. And he don't want to die. And he's making all this money from record companies. And what's $10 million when, your life is on the line? And I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So for 30 million views, or what do you say, 10 million views, $2,500. Okay. First of all, that's an effing lie. Okay. Why would he need to pay money? And buddy, if you're being threatened, you go to the police. You're a white guy. White guys go to the police. White guys got no problems going to the police. So if they were looking for that white guy, that's very easy. He's very easy to find. Trust me, they would have called the cops. What is Academics going to do for you? You going on air saying they're threatening me on DJ Akademiks page is going to do what? Make it stop? What, Academics going to make it stop? Come on, man. The cap game is terrible. You got to first make it believable, dog. If I say, oh, Carcino's finna interview Drake's plumber, and I just call up a plumber and start talking to a plumber, he starts telling me about all the pipes and what he got to do in the process of cleaning the pipes. You're gonna be like, okay, what does this mean? Okay, that guy's a janitor. Does not mean, oh, I got a receipt. You got a receipt that you doctored and made say what you wanted it to say? Please. It's pitiful. If anybody, any one of you, I want y'all to go right now and try to find anybody that give you views, right? And they said, I can give you 5,000 views for like 25, you want 25,000 views. That will cost you a couple $100. I'm quite sure for something as sophisticated as what Spotify is talking about, as this man brought up a whole lot of things that he didn't even say alleged to. And Academics didn't either. And Academics provided the platform. Academics actually said he had an agreement with Spotify that they wouldn't besmirch each other's business. This is very besmirching to me. I wonder if Spotify Legal has seen this video yet. I should talk to him. But this man said some very damning things about Spotify and alleged that Spotify is in on a racket of falsifying numbers and allowing bot action to happen and take place. Even though he said they do crack down on some of them, but they know they get bigger ad revenue if they allow certain things to happen. And by allowing this or saying these things, that puts Spotify in a very liable situation. Other people could sue them for fraud. And it's a pay to play system. Now, I'm quite sure Spotify wouldn't want their name badgered like that. And DJ Akademiks provided the platform for this conversation to happen. I'm quite sure Spotify doesn't like to have their name driven in the mud like that. And once legal finds out, there's going to have to be some reprimanding going on or some changes or revisions of said podcast story. But let's get to the truth of it. You're not going to get 10 million views for $2,500. If you're working for somebody like Spotify, you would need about $100,000 or better for 30 million, 10 million. For 10 million, you're looking at about 50 bands. 10 million views, it'll probably take you 50 bands. You got to be in the over $10,000, 20, 30, 40,000. Then they get you about 10 million views. We talking Spotify hits. We not even talking about YouTube. Right. So he demonstrated how it works, putting the bots on, like Instagram and everything else. Basically showing you how Gil's Arena and all these other shows work. We've been said, how that show worked on bots and stuff, and how they were falsifying traffic. But that's beside the point. We've arrived here at this crime, this criminality that's happening in front of us, as Akademiks is letting his mind go. This is the same person that told you he was talking to a top dog executive, TDE executive. He's a top TDE executive, and he plays an audio of me. That's the person you're listening to. People in the chat are saying, "Hey, that's Carcino, dog," in his own chat. They're saying that's Carcino. They telling him that, and he's trying to act like he don't see it. He knew exactly what he was doing. All of a sudden, I'm a TDE executive. So this is the type of plays that he be running, and it's ridiculous because this lets you know they have nothing. Okay, he just needed to have something to buzz, so he can go trending again. Of course, that whole conversation was suspect. He's probably talking to the guys that's getting his bots and views. Because if it's 2,500 for 30 million Akademiks, why the hell you ain't got 30 million? You should be on that guy right now, getting all the views. How many people would have 30 million views or better if they can get it for 2,500? You had your local B rapper, everybody from the hood getting millions of views for 2,500. Are you crazy? You gots to be nuts. I'm not saying that they don't pay for views. The record companies normally handle that, not the managers. The managers out here paying for views, like, really? So that's not realistic. First thing he talked about was they're threatening his life because he's about to expose it. Okay, so he said he gave them 30 million views or whatever. He gave Kendrick Lamar 30 million views and he only was paid $2,500. But they owed him like another $2,500, right? Like they gave him half the money, but they never paid him the other half. That's why he's mad and he's doing this. So you're tripping over $2,500. You say you're a millionaire. You got all these record companies doing you this and that. You're tripping over $2,500. Are you crazy? $2,500, and you keep talking about you a multimillionaire. It don't add up. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Who would spend $5,000 and get 30 million views in traffic? Where do they do that at? Why? The math don't add up because it's a fucking lie. Now, all of this glazing to try to protect Drake, you just make Drake look worse. Every time you do stuff like this, you make it look worse. Drake don't even answer your phone calls no more. He ghosted all of you. And that's when you was talking crazy about him because he don't even answer your text messages no more. He ghosted you, Joe Budden, all of y'all. Y'all failed him. Now he's out there, kicking horse dookie, wearing cowboy boots. Absolutely. Now, here's where the problem got deeper because Akademiks really stepped in it this time. Because Spotify has set rules and parameters to try to say, hey, we don't allow that, X, Y, and Z, and we don't do that. So they're probably going to say, okay, this guy has to be interviewed then. He has to provide his proof that this is happening here. And what proof do you have that this is happening on Spotify? And by you admitting all of this, right? Let's say you were doing that for people. Who's going to hire you? Who the hell would hire you now if you would go on Akademiks' platform and just blow up everything that you do? And what for? Why would you choose Akademiks to go to? He is not the biggest channel on YouTube. Sorry, buddy. I'm quite sure you know that too. But if you were really a somebody that you saying you are, you will get on those platforms with no problem. But you're not. You're not on those platforms. People are threatening your life that you claim because you didn't get the other half of the money. So you run to DJ Akademiks right then and there. Red flag. Flag on the play. What is he going to do for you? What is DJ Akademiks going to do? You going to get them up off you? Crazy. Nobody believed anything that guy was saying, really, because he sounded like a moron. The more he spoke as a person who knew of certain things that he's done, but was fabricating a lot. It seemed like he's done a lot of business with Akademiks. As the questions seemed leading, and Akademiks didn't seem to have any problem talking to this guy and asking him anything he wanted to ask him, as if he's already known this person before. He didn't speak to him as if this is the first time he's talking to this guy. Okay? Sound like they in cahoots. Now, if Spotify legal looks into this, they would hear some things that they would find very alarming. It raised a lot of red flags and went against a lot of the guidelines for Spotify. Now, unless this person can prove all of those things that he was claiming, he puts Akademiks and that guy in a very liable situation. Mm-hmm. So the first red flag he starts off with was, I'm getting threatened. I'm a white guy who's getting threatened by a celebrity. Wow, I'm not gonna go to the police. If he was really threatened by Kendrick Lamar and his people for something he has done, first of all, they're probably going to threaten you legally with something because you probably did some practices that was illegal. Hmm? Yeah, did some practices that was illegal, probably. And that's why the situation is that he's in a whole different box. He don't even know how much the price should be for a certain amount of views. Something that's very trivial. Mm. Well, life never changes. When people want to run plays, they run them to how they see fit. Now, saying that kind of craziness just shows that, bro, you ain't got nothing to talk about. You just had to have something to talk about with Kendrick on his birthday, so you could just like you ain't had nothing because you ain't have nothing to do talk about. You done ran every lie and every angle. You done burnt it all up. So now you had to create something out the blue, like you got some dirt on Kendrick, and then you'll end up selling it to this fool, and he might jump out there on a ledge on a diss track talking about, yeah, we know you bought your views. This is crazy. And the fact that the song was so organic, the song that you talking about is so organic, it don't even make sense. Not like us, really? Are you crazy? That song was in the club that same night it came out. Everybody on the internet, the media, we all made that song go on number one. It was large, and you knew it. Then this guy gonna say, "Oh no, Drake's numbers are real. He don't use bots." Everybody's cheating, but except for Drake. I'm like, get the hell up out of here. That's how you know what this was—a glaze fest. Liars and manipulators. It's pitiful that this is what these people resort to. And this is the kind of life they want to represent them. But it is the foundation that they laid out. So the song actually really hit TikTok everywhere. They had a dances to it the very next day. That's real. The West was back outside. That song was going on for 3, 4 weeks straight, strong. It's already coming back into rotation the moment he announced the pop out. It's still currently kicking ass on the charts. It's gonna be back to number one once the video hit and this concert hit later on. So I look at things a little different. I see it for what it is. I see what Akademiks is doing. Um, it's terrible and pathetic, but this is what you expect from a hack. It's what you expect from a hack. Now he keeps saying, here's another red flag that I heard, that he gave them 30 million views, right? And he didn't get all his money. What place you know give you all the work and pay you half the money? Normally, you give them half the views, and then they said, okay, I'll give you the other half once you pay your other half. Never seen it done the other way. Yep. So allegedly, he's claiming that somebody from Drake's team, well, not Drake's, but Kendrick's team, like his manager came and bought views and stuff for Spotify, 30 million when the song dropped, and it's gonna do this and that. And said, "Oh, the third party person is threatening me." It's just awful. Yeah. So Spotify could sue Academics just for having that guy on the show, and he would have to explain it because they could be up for an investigation because of that. People will look into it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, Miss Lady. That's why you got to stay grounded in reality. Because it's just pathetic at this point. Guys are spiraling out of ideas. They don't know what to talk about. So they just run right to Kendrick. Kendrick and Drake. So, with that being said, I'll do a Patreon version and really, put this in perspective on my Casino for Life Patreon. But, shouts out to Kwame Brown Bust Life, a real one. Somebody ain't got a troll to do all this nonsense. Um, yeah, man, it's just another academics play in a mess. But he gonna find himself in trouble with Spotify. They're not gonna take too kindly of people seeing all of this damage being done, and you created the platform. Now, I'm quite sure he's got a disclaimer up somewhere, but that doesn't really exonerate you. Well, not when you've asked the questions and you have this person living in your home. Mm-hmm. Yep. It'll all be, this whole run will be over because Drake run will be over later on this evening. Drake's done. So once this drops, and then Saturday, once the Not Like Me video comes out and get finished, it's over. I'm serious. It is over for your boy Jersey, as we know. So Academics can pull any gimmicks he got out of his bag. It's not gonna work. Your boy just gotta rap his way out of it. He tried to do that the first time and he lost. He really should just walk away. That's just it. Shouts out to Welcome to HD TV, Jag Sports, Jose Rodriguez, Dreamers Pro, and we good. Peace.